The starting point for me was asking myself this question. What would I love to see in my children in the next 10, 20 years? Is it going to be my yelling or all my negative emotion? Or maybe my childhood trauma? Where do I need to be emotionally to be able to support my kids? And this is how I started a motherhood journey in a very empowering way. Hello guys, today I want to share with you how I started motherhood in a very empowering way. So if this interests you, stick around till the end. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time, my name is Sarah Onoyemi, and on this channel we love to help you and your relationship thrive. So my baby is really close to me, so if you see me looking to the side, I'm just trying to check up on him. So first, if there's anything I want to acknowledge before I continue in this video is if you're a mom, I want you to know you are amazing and you are doing a really good job. Motherhood is a whole lot on a woman's body. Excuse me. And as someone who has gone through pregnancy before, I can really say that being pregnant and being a mom has a whole lot of impact on us. And it just brings a whole lot of changes into our lives that sometimes you can explain, sometimes it's really difficult to put your words together about how you're feeling. And this changes that happens in our lives cut across, it's the physical changes, it's the emotional changes, it's the mental changes, it's the social changes. And I think the one that is really visible, that everyone can see, because a whole lot of us that created a world where we just kind of put our emotion inside a box and no one is saying that, which is not a great idea, right? We're emotional beings, but that's just what the reality is. But the one that is really visible is the physical changes. You guys, I saw my body, literally transformed into something completely different from what I used to know before I got pregnant. And I have seen like pictures and videos of people who have been, women that have been pregnant out there, and I'm just like, this is a lot. So the physical changes are a really big deal. And what about the societal or the social changes? Where you now have to carry your baby everywhere, and it just really looks like you're living for the baby or you're living for your child. But there was a perspective that I was able to create that has really helped me nurture my baby with grace, despite the sleepless night, despite the crying, despite not being able to do a lot for myself ever since I had my baby. This perspective has just really helped me, and I want to share that with you today, and hopefully that can help you if you're currently a mom, or you're pregnant, or you're considering to be a mom, later in life. So first, one of the things that I started with even before we had our baby was to create a perspective around being a mom. So I had to ask myself a couple of questions, and one of the questions that I asked myself was, why do I want to be a mom? Like, what's the purpose of being a mom? Why do I want to do that? Why did I chose that path? Because you don't have to say you want to be pregnant and have a child. You can decide not to. Why did I choose this path? Is it because it's a societal demand? Like, oh, when you get married, the next thing is to get pregnant and have babies and have children. Why do I want to be pregnant? I really need to ask myself this question. And I feel like, things move so fast that a lot of us just, you get pregnant and the pregnancy goes for 9 months and we don't get to ask ourselves this question. And the reason why it is really important to start, from this point, building a great perspective around why you want to become a mom is because things are going to happen during the pregnancy and after you have your baby. There's going to be a lot of emotional things that's going to happen. Your child is really depending on you 100%. They can't do things for themselves. They can't help themselves. And that's gonna get in the way of our comfort. That's gonna get in the way of our sleep. That's gonna get in the way of our social life. Things will literally change like 100% from what it used to be before we have a baby. So it's really important for us to ask ourselves this question. And I see things on social media, right? I see some mom out of frustration just kind of say negative things to their babies, and that breaks my heart a lot because as someone who now have a baby, I see the vulnerability, I see the dependency that babies have on the adults and the caregivers in their lives. These babies are literally helpless. They can't do stuff for themselves. They can't feed themselves. They can't poop by themselves. They need us to help them with everything. And just getting to understand that perspective when my baby cries or my baby do things, I don't see it like, oh, it's trying to stress me. I just see it like, this is a really vulnerable person that needs help. Okay, I want you to paint a picture in your mind and just kind of think about you being in a new country and everyone just, walked through you even though you needed help, but they just couldn't provide the help. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel frustrated, right? So this is the position that babies are. They're absolutely dependent on us. They can't do stuff for themselves. So I really had to answer that question, why I wanted to have a baby. And, once I was able to answer that question, that the reason why I wanted to have a baby was not because the society is asking me to do that or my husband is asking me to do that. It's just because this is a great opportunity. Being able to grow a life and nurture a life and, disciple someone who is going to grow to become a change to our world was just really empowering for me. It was really empowering for me. So that was the first place that I started from. And it's really helped me, just to put things in perspective as the journey continues as a mom. The second question that I needed to ask is what position, where do I need to be emotionally to be able to support my baby and help my baby and give my baby what he needs? And my answer to that was to audit my own upbringing and how I was raised. The moment I asked this question, where do I need to be emotionally to be able to meet my baby's need? It just really opened a whole lot of things that I didn't know about myself. I saw a part of me, my 3 years old, my 5 years old, my 10 years old, that had some, emotional trauma growing up from how I was raised that I haven't dealt with. And this just really opened things up for me to know myself more and help me be in that position where I can meet the need. My baby's smiling at me. Where I can meet the need of my baby. So I started to ask myself, where do I need to be emotionally to meet my baby's needs? And, I was able to pull out a lot of negative emotion. that has been there for years, and some of the things that I experienced as a child and how I was raised. And it just really opened me up to, I wouldn't want to make my child feel this. I wouldn't want to do this to my child as a mom. So these were like two big questions that I really need to ask myself before the motherhood journey continue. And the last question is, what is my goal as a mom, right? What would I like to see in this baby in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years? Is it gonna be my yelling? Is it gonna be my shouting? Is it gonna be all of the negative emotions? And when I ask this question, is like, putting myself in this position of, okay, I need to figure things out for myself. I need to be in a good place emotionally before I can meet my baby's need. So when I was able to answer the question of, what's my goal as a mom? What do I want to see in this child? So even when I have like negative emotion and I'm like, tempted to say things to my baby, I just remind myself, this is not what I want to see in my child. I don't want to see this. And it just really helps me put my emotion under control. Does this work all the time? No. There are times that, I'm already far down the road and I have to remind myself of some of this conversation that I had with myself before my baby arrived. And it just really helps me, bounce back and keep things, going and keeping it focused on the goal and the journey of being a mom. The last thing that I want to leave us with is that I want us to consider being a mom as someone who is nurturing a garden, and whatever we put in that garden is just what we're gonna see. And this is why the role of a mom is a very empowering one, and I do not take it for granted. It's a privilege, and I'm so happy. Yes, it is not easy. Yes, sometimes you forget yourself, but I'm grateful for this privilege. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section what has been your experience. What were those things that you did that really helped you prepare for motherhood, and maybe some of those challenges as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you another time. Bye, baby.